Okay, in this video, we're going to use lots of things we've learned about Excel to solve an interesting tax problem. We're given sales information for an apparel manufacturer. So that's over here. So we're told if every transaction was profit or non-profit. Why does that matter? If it was non-profit, there's no sales tax. We're given the type of product that was sold, versus pants and dresses, the state of sale, the unit sold on the transaction, and total revenue. And so what we want to find is the total sales tax that was paid on each product group in each state. We'll use sum if s. We could use a pivot table. We want to also summarize the units sold and the revenue by state and product group. We'll use a pivot table there and find the average price paid for dresses that we sold our dresses for. That would be a sum if on the dresses column of the revenue divided by a sum if on the units. Okay, so first thing we have to do is find the sales tax rate in each state. So I will name this range here look tax. Okay, and then I probably should name every column of data here. We're going to create some columns over here to help solve our problem. So I can do Control Shift right arrow, down arrow, formulas, create from selection, names in top row. So now I've got the non-profit column. I've got the actual tax column, which is this column here, but I have to compute that actual tax. Okay. So first I got to get the tax rate in each state with a VLOOKUP. So I would do a VLOOKUP based on the state, and then I could paste the range name in, and that would be look tax. And the second column, use a false to be safe. I think although I sorted the states alphabetically, it probably work. So there's your tax rate, copy it down. But the none has to be converted to a 0. And the actual tax rate that you would pay has to be basically 0 if there's a none here and 0 if it's a non-profit. I can do that with an OR. So I could say if, and I'll say OR, we see this equals non-profit, or this equals none. I need to close that with a right parenthesis, and then what I would do is put in a tax rate of 0. Otherwise, I'll just copy it from here. And then I copy it down. So whenever there was a none or there was a non-profit, we have a 0 tax rate. So the actual tax is going to be the actual tax rate on the transaction times the revenue. Okay, we're in great shape. Okay, so now what we want to do is have a table. I've listed the states, but I need the product groups that we sell. Well, I could get those with a pivot table, but remember, remove duplicates. I can select this range, put it in a new worksheet. Let's say over here. Okay, and if I do data, remove duplicates, I already have them listed there. Click on this. I will see, okay, there are 8 products. So I can copy those, but I need to transpose them, but we know how to do that. We do them so much. And so we come here, right click, and we look at with the transpose. So now I can do a sum if s. Okay, so I can go to the function wizard and we type sum if s. 2 criteria is why I need sum if s. Okay, so the sum range is going to be, I guess, actual tax. And then the first criteria range, I guess, could be the state. And then the state's name comes over here, but you've got a $sign, the I guess, because you don't want that to change. So that would be $I7. My F4C would not be working. Okay. And then the second criteria would be the product. And that should be equals this here. And there I need the $sign. Again, somehow my keys don't do it right here on my maneuver. So I would do J $6 because I need the $6 the 6. So for the state, you need the $sign the column. And for the product, you need the $sign the row. And I think that should work out okay. Now if I copy that across, and I can double click in, copy that down. And I know now what our sales tax was in every product in every state, which is really quite cool. Okay, so now what's the average price paid for dresses? Okay, so I can say total revenue for dresses and total units and then divide them. Or I could do this in one cell, I don't care. Okay, but I could do a sum if, again, pivot table is fine, but if I made the original source data table, when I add new rows, everything here would automatically update it. That's the advantage. Okay, if I didn't use range names. Okay, so the criteria range would be, okay, the product, and I'm going to say dresses. It should put the quotes in. It did. Caps don't matter. And I want to add up the revenue there. Okay. So that should be revenue, sorry. Well, it's not letting me on my computer pick that out, so I'll just point to the revenue range here. Now it's not letting me go to the bottom there for some reason. Let's see what's going on there. So the sum range would be revenue. And that should work. Sorry about that. And then I would get the total units, so I'll do sum if. Okay, so the range would be product, dresses, and there it's going to be units. Hopefully I can put that one in there. So that's how many dresses I sold. I don't want percentage. So format cells. So 18,664 dresses. And so if I would divide these out, I'd get the average price at $80 per dress. Okay, sounds reasonable. Okay, now pivot table we'll put on the right. So let's summarize the units of revenue by state. Insert pivot table, existing worksheet, we'll dump it over here. It's got all our data that we started in there. Okay, so I want to know state here. I want to know product. And let's do units and sales revenue. Okay, so we've got our units and sales revenue. Now this is a pretty bulky table, so we probably want slicers. So we go in here. This is what we made in revenue in Alabama. So I go insert, slicers. It have to be inside the pivot table. Insert slicer. Okay, and I want product and state. Okay, now the state one, I probably want more columns. I probably want more columns in both of these. So I could go options here. I'd say 2 columns would probably work there. Okay, make that a little smaller. That's good. What little wider. Okay, now over here, I probably want like 10 columns. Oh, let's do 5 columns here. Okay, now it's got to be way wider. We're getting there. All right, so that looks good. I guess it's got to be taller. I'm not seeing everything there. We've got 51 here, so that's why one of these has 11, because we have District of Columbia, if you're curious. Okay, so I could say, how did we do on shoes and shirts? And I could say in Maryland and Massachusetts and Michigan. And now I know. And so with the slicers, one pivot table becomes really thousands of pivot tables. So what did we use in this example? Because we used range names, we used VLOOKUP, SUMIFS, remove duplicates, we use pivot tables, we use slicers, and so we used all those examples here, all those functions, sorry, to solve one example, which is truly amazing, okay? That basically we needed all this stuff to solve what seems to be not that complicated of a problem. Oh, we needed if statements also. So basically, we use 7 things that we've learned to solve this one problem. So it's a great example of how you need to understand the stuff that we've discussed to really do your job if you're in business.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and there's a free course, a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, and all of these videos are coming from one of 3 books. So first, this one, which you can see here at the top of the screen, Microsoft's book, which has 355 reviews, and then it's, let's see, 4.6 stars. It's coming from this book as well, his marketing analytics book, which is down here, and you can sort of see 4.5, or his newest book, his analytics stories book, which is here. And with that one, you can see it's 4 point something, or maybe even 5. I don't think it's 5. Yeah, 4.8. And so, yeah, anyways, in the description, there's a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, or you can go to excelwithwayne.com/free, and it'll be there. But again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just please let us know. Thanks.